Today we are going to count down 5 best villains from the GTA series. The GTA games would hardly have been as terrific as they are had it not been for all the dastardly villains featured in the series. Every good story, be it about a wise old witch or a snarky kingpin, needs a good old-fashioned villain who keeps it moving forward and creates tension between the characters. GTA antagonists are perhaps the most barbarous of all. And given the general theme of the game, they can't exactly afford to be soft and malleable. Number 5. Devin Weston, GTA 5. The GTA series features a number of acquisitive fellows, each more covetous than the other. The self-proclaimed philanthropist is no different. He couldn't care less about all the underprivileged people he's exploiting as long as his own coffers are packed to the rafters. Perhaps the old goon would have been less hated had he not been such a dud. Instead of exhibiting morally grey characteristics, he seems to be stuck in the black. Unable to look past his self-indulgent motives, the only good thing he ever did was tumble down to his death towards the end of the game, not only ridding his enemies of himself, but also granting players much anticipated closure. Number 4. Sonny Forelli, GTA Vice City. It makes sense to be guarded in a world as chaotic as GTA Vice City, but Forelli's cynicism goes way too far. His pessimism renders him incapable of trusting anyone, even his closest associates. Moreover, he is extremely barbaric in his ways. He kind of has to be. His victims have to be bound by fear, if not trust. Forelli's maniacal outbursts and chilling threats make for some of the most gripping scenes in GTA Vice City. And despite his flaws, he is unanimously agreed upon as one of the best villains from the series. Number 3. Draco Brevic, GTA 4. Another ruthless villain who enjoys his notoriety in the underworld and considers it the goal of his life to give the protagonist as much trouble as possible. The interesting thing about Draco is that he shares a history with Nico, the protagonist. Both grew up in the village of Yugoslavia and fought in the Yugoslav wars. Later, Draco became a drug addict and betrayed his squad for a paltry $1,000. Perhaps that's the reason why the two never got along. Draco was self-indulgent, whereas Nico was anything but. Number 2. Frank Tenpenny, GTA San Andreas. Frank Tenpenny is arguably the most hated antagonist. Players can stand anything in the game but his corrupt, sadistic and dirty manners. His wanton folly and desire for power has corrupted his mind to the point that he can no longer distinguish the right from the wrong. Not that any GTA villain, or protagonist for that matter, has been known to. Number 1. Big Smoke, GTA San Andreas. If there is a villain that fans cannot help but fall in love with every time they take a trip back to San Andreas, it's the backstabbing jerk who betrayed Carl Johnson for a shot at fame and riches. As he dies, Smoke tells his homie that a greedy criminal like him had no choice in the matter. While it doesn't justify what he did, it at least explains that Smoke did not betray CJ out of malice, making him perhaps the most human villain from the series.